Sanjay Khan doing films? I don't remember.
He was very miffed with me, in fact.
So he didn't like the way you were going.
We used to have a lot of arguments on it.
But it happened 10 years ago. He's also found love, and your sister Sussanne has also found love.
We are like the new modern.
There was a lot written about your dad and Zenith.
Let me tell you, at that time, the whole industry was happening in every actor's house.
Did Farah Khan come and tell you at any point?
She used to be a stepmother sometimes.
Did you have a phase with Hrithik where
Never.
you drifted apart?
No, never.
Zayed, I welcome you to Times Network, and I must tell you that I'm very, very happy to see you. I don't know how many years it has been. I have lost count.
Vicky, likewise. It's like when I heard when you called me up and you said, we'd like to do an interview, I was so taken aback by nostalgia. I think the last time we met, like you said, was during Fight Club.
Yeah.
Which is like, what, 2009, 2010?
14, 15 years.
Yeah, but where have all the years gone? Huh?
We'll cover the years here.
But thank you for coming, and it's an honor to be here.
It's my pleasure. And, I just want to start from here that let me go straight with you that here was a very promising, charming actor in front of me. And of course, when I close my eyes, the first movie that comes to mind is Main Hoon Na. It's sort of inevitable, that movie coming to roll in front of your eyes. And somewhere, or rather too soon, I thought that Zayed started doing all kinds of films. And like you mentioned, Fight Club. In hindsight, what exactly went wrong?
Okay. Interesting way of asking that question. I would answer it in a way as to not what went wrong, but did I take my stardom for granted and not listen to a lot of people saying do more single hero films? Possibly that was one thing that I sort of understand that I should have played more on that, because ultimately you have to, once you are absorbed by a market, you have to then show the market that you are able to hold the film on your shoulders. I think holding a film on your shoulders is a big responsibility. It really, like, you know, it can go either north, south, and you take too many risks on that. Who knows what can happen. But truth be told, I wanted to work in big films, Vicky. I wanted to work in larger than life films. Like, I'd be very honest, I wasn't bred in a way to do artistic films, or, you know, films that really have, you know, great theatre, you know, pedigree, and theatre actors, and make superb films. I didn't feel I was as good an actor like that. I felt I was a very physical actor. Like, a lot of my acting came down to how I could fight, how I could dance, how I could, you know, crack jokes and, you know, use my body. So, if I at that time had to do just films that were within the realm of Zayed doing a film, then it would be like I had to do more romantic films, and, you know, I'd have to. But I was so much into the action genre that big ticket action movies always got the better of me. So whenever, like, a director came on board and said, "We're making Blue, we're making Yuvraj, we're making Fight Club, we're making this," I was like, "Oh man, okay." Now, what is the reason being? Of course, it's a very simple reason, that when many actors come together, the budgets are justified to make those kind of films. Otherwise, it's not possible to make those films, you know, at least at that time. And probably I went into that a little too soon. I should have built my brand first before saying, you know, I want to do big ticket films. That, on hindsight, that would have been, you know, a sort of a, I guess, a regret in some sort of way. But other than that, I really, if you ask me, I'd signed on with some great people, great companies, great films, but some of them just didn't hit the golden goose. It was, I mean, who won't sign a movie like Blue? Pretty much ready-made hits. They had the best people to work with, the best technicians to work with, and they were exactly the kind of films that I would go watch a movie if I had to go to the theatre.
You mean to say films like Yuvraj, films like Fight Club?
I would love to. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, they were all, you know, on paper, they were like amazing films. They were like amazing star cast to work with, amazing directors to work with.
Not to forget Blue.
Blue. I mean, look at that.
Full multi-star cast.
And it was the most expensive film ever made at that time.
Yes.
You know, and I mean, it was made by Ashtal Vinayak. I remember there were a great bunch of people to work with at the time, and Sanju and Akshay and Katrina and Tony, of course. You know, so if you ask me, like, I think the only thing, like you said, probably I went for multi-starers too much. I should have spent a little more time building on the brand. But the way I look at it is, you know, it could have gone any which way, really, Vicky.
Because I recall your dad,
Yeah.
Mr. Sanjay Khan, doing films all solos.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, he was very miffed with me, in fact. We used to have a lot of arguments on that.
I think Ek Pul Do Mali, I remember. Yeah. Balraj Sani Sahab was there. But otherwise, if I close my eyes, I can't.
Yeah.
So he didn't like the way you were going.
Of course, Reddy, he had his reservations, no doubt. But at that point in time, Vicky, you know, we were young. I really thought I knew it. I really thought I knew how I was going.
आपका ज़माना कुछ और था, मेरा ज़माना कुछ और है.
हाँ, ऐसे कुछ. और वो होता है ना कि जब आप थोड़ा सा, you know, गरम खून हो और आपको लगता है कि, you know, उस वक्त आप सब जानते हैं, सब लोग आपके खातिरदारी में हैं और सब लोग आपको ही पूछते हैं कि ज़ायद क्या करना है आपको, ये वो. तो sometimes you get overwhelmed by that kind of attention, and you kind of think that whatever you're saying is right, whatever you're doing is right. But of course, life has a lot of ways of telling you that you're not, and, you know, I got my due. But if I go in hindsight, I'll tell you, I enjoyed every bit of experience I had with every film set I worked on. I was always working with new people. I made some amazing bonds while working, and I always did my 100%. So
No, there was no doubt about the talent and personality as well.
yeah,
Dwelling into the choices you made.
right, right. No, I have definitely not been the smartest person in as far as picking the right arc of a career. Even though I had all the advice at home to bounce off, but yeah, that's basically it.
Did Farah Khan come and tell you at any point? Because Mehuna was the second after Chura Liya.
Yeah, yeah.
So, did she tell you that, boy, where are you going? Do this, don't do this?
You know, Farah was an amazing mentor, no doubt. She would always kind of tell me, she used to be a mother at sometimes and a stepmother at sometimes. Okay, so like the time where she was like a mother, she would like tell you, you know, chalo, tomorrow you have an early shoot, wake up. She'd literally like, you know, stroke my hair and said, go to sleep and get your 8 hours of sleep and then wake
She used to wake you up?
She used to wake me up.
Yeah, in the morning.
In the morning, because I came with this reputation of I sleep in and this and that. So, and then on the set, she used to jhado me, like as if she's my stepmom. But Farah gave me a lot of advice, no doubt. Like, advice came from all ends, yeah. There were so many films I was supposed to do as a single hero that somehow didn't take off because of something which I had signed on to. In fact, there's some movies which it's almost complete, it's still in the cans, like a movie I did called Idiot with Salina Jaitley. It's still in the cans, it just has 3 songs to be done. It was Poorna Charna Rao, very old producer from thing, lovely man.
From the south.
From the south. So many of my movies are in the cans and they were single hero movies and it was just...
But did you refuse any single hero films? Because in that, whole drive of yours where you were sort of life and you were a flamboyant personality, did you refuse this single hero films?
I did not refuse, but what happened was inevitably that the films that I had to do which were single hero always clashed with the dates of these big ticket movies, you know. Like I've done single hero movies like Sharafat Gayi Tel Lene, I've done Rocky, I've done, all these kind of films, but I always felt when you do a single hero film, you should be with the best director. Otherwise, it's very hard, like especially as a youngster, to understand the nuances of acting.
Yeah.
It's not easy. You might have natural talent, personality and all, that's different. But after a while, if you're not getting onto the subtext, then people get bored. So that was always, I always wanted to like work with somebody amazing who would say, I'm taking you as my single hero. And there were plenty of people, who came, and I made some very silly choices.
There's a film you did with Aishwarya.
Yes.
Shabd.
Yes. Very nice film. I enjoyed
it. It is a nice film, no doubt.
I enjoyed working in that film. I thought the film was way ahead of its time, and I was thoroughly zapped to see how Leena and how Aishwarya and how, professional the entire setup was. It was, I think, a Pratish Nandi communications production, and they did a fab job. And yeah, man, so, it's just...
You expected that to become a blockbuster?
I did. I didn't, honestly, I do not think blockbuster. Like, I do not ever, when I do a film, I don't say...
Maybe you were banking a little more on that?
Vicky...
I'm just trying to read this because there was ash in that.
Vicky, truth be told, I mean, all the films I made a graph on, they were pretty much films that I thought like were in a really good area.
Yeah.
There was nothing wrong with either the producer, the director, the scriptwriter, the actors. There was nothing wrong with it. It's just that it didn't work. You can't force something. Like, for instance, when we shot for Das, You know, it was such a difficult production to put through. We were shooting in Canada, this and that. My heart was in my mouth because, you know, for the life of me, I couldn't understand Anubhav and how he directed, because he used to direct like, you know, just what he wanted.
Yeah.
You know, and used to always feel that, yeah, I think there's something left on this side and something left on that side, and you know, and then when it came out and we saw the premiere in Pune, I think Venki's was the presenter for the film, and the reaction of the people, thak karke everybody got up. We also felt that itni achhi thi kya? You know, it got us by surprise, and I think it really blew everybody's mind nobody expected Dust to be such a big hit. So it's the same thing, you know, it's like when you do a film, you just give it your 100% sincerity and you hope that everybody else is doing the same, because that's where I feel more films tend to muck up. You know, like I think one of the best sets I've ever visited and I think ever been on, and I feel the reason why there was so much heart in the film was because there was heart on the set, and that was Main Hoon Na, no doubt. It was a beautiful, crew and cast, and everybody was so like wanting to make a good film.
You can still see it 10 times. Yeah. It's that kind of a film.
I mean, today, quite honestly, when you go to any of the OTTs, or you know, the first thing they bang on tell you is that they want you to make a film which has a 50-year shelf life, or they want you to send them an idea that has a 50-year shelf life. You know, literally. I mean, now it's one thing saying that, it's another thing doing that. You know, that's the kind of film. I mean, Main Hoon Na it's like a eternal evergreen film. I mean, I still go to so many of my like friends' houses and their children have seen Main Hoon Na, and the wife tells them that Lucky has come. And I can't believe how that character is still managing to make connections with youngsters, because I mean, an actor's blessings is when he has youngsters as his audience. Yeah. You know, when you have an 8-year-old as your fan, then you're guaranteed for the next 15 years he's going to watch your film. You know, at least that entire period. It's a real blessing, honestly, when that happens. And I right now am focused, like right now I've just finished a film which we have given to Geo Cinemas, and it's an OTT film, and I'm really looking forward to its release. It's called TNFTW, but we are waiting now because there's a...
What is it called?
TFTNW.
Okay, that's the title.
The title is The Film That Never Was.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's something that I'm very proud of. And we've done, I think, hell of, like, again, it's so strange when you are really pushed up against the wall, how amazing things happen. So I was supposed to start a film during COVID, and COVID happened, and I was so ready, and everything started to dawn on us, will there be a tomorrow? Yeah. Is the world coming to an end? I mean, and so the team of people got together and said, let's do something where we can shoot something. So we literally made a movie and we shot it like in wherever we could, you know. And it's incredible how when, like when people have that feeling that this might be the last movie I ever make, or this might be the last thing I ever write, you know. When that feeling comes into people, yeah, it's amazing how people start becoming their best.
Yeah.
So we had a very tight crew. We made a film. I'll show you the trailer afterwards. It was fun and it was just crazy.
So, उसमें कौन है और?
I think
you and
there's about 22 special appearances. I think half the industry is in the film.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you see it, you'll know. It's
okay.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
So when Zayed, you say that you made those wrong choices and thus also you had in your kitty, there came a point where you just started, disappearing from the scene. I mean, was that a conscious decision that, okay, I'm going to take a back seat, I'm going to sit back and think, or did the offers eventually dry up?
Well, offers still haven't dried up, I'll be honest with you. But truth be told, you have to pick and choose the right thing to do. And just because sometimes you're on an ebb of your career doesn't mean you have to necessarily take up BS, you know. So a lot of those kind of offers started coming in where they wanted to make you second fiddle and, make you some super villain or something like that. And, I was like, I don't know if I was ready to do that as yet. And family life, when it kicks in also, Vicky, there's only so much time you have with them. And truth be told, deep down inside, I didn't want to miss out with growing up with my family. I'm a very hands-on parent. I feel that's absolutely necessary. Over a period of years, I'd read so many actors, biographies where if they had one regret, was the regret of not being with their family. And there were so many other things to do in life. It was, sometimes we tend to create the film industry to be the all of
Be all and
everything,
end all of life.
end all of life, and it's not true. It's a bubble, and there's so many other things outside that bubble that are so interesting to be a part of.
So it was like, इनसे अच्छा तो मैं नहीं करूँ. These
इनसे अच्छा
films, इससे तो अच्छा मैं नहीं करता हूँ.
हाँ, उसमें क्या है? Because honestly, for me, like film is like a passion. It's like acting is like I love. It's like my canvas. I want to. So मेरे वालिद साहब हमेशा मेरे से एक चीज़ कहते थे कि देखो बेटा, ज़िंदगी में ना घास खा, लेकिन ईमान मत बेच. It's somewhere, I think there is a legacy factor that plays into a lot of my decisions also. Somewhere it's like, I'll be honest, I mean, I had got offered to do VI, like those underwear ads and all of that. Everybody paying you so much money to do those ads.
And top heroes did it.
Back in the day, Ganji it used to be, underwear it wasn't. Now top heroes are doing it. Okay? So I actually went to my father and I told him, I said, see, this offer is coming,
And it's a lot of money.
And it's a lot of money, and I have a good body and, I should be able to pull this one off. He had a little reservation towards me and he said, what do you want to be? You want to be a nautanki or do you want to be a star? You have to decide that. He didn't say don't do it.
He didn't cringe?
He has a very silent reserve in which you have to understand his cringe. You either understand his cringe or you don't understand his cringe. But
you knew he was cringing?
I think so, definitely. I mean, he was definitely not happy about it, and there are
the right way.
There are ways. He says, man, you can stretch this or you can end this. It's up to you. I'm talking about 2001, 2003. It's only recently where it's become quite fashionable to do it, and I think Ranveer Singh does it so well. He manages, and so many like taboo kind of brands or taboo kind of products were such a no at the time. But now people are like, condoms also, they are branding it and this and that, and there's a certain acceptance that has come in to the thing, and I'm happy that people have done it. Probably I didn't see the vision in it, or I didn't see the thing in it, so that's the way it is.
Okay. So now you have formed a company.
Yes.
Where you are making content.
Yes.
You're making movies. You decided to make movies. Tell us about this company. Is it targeting OTT or is it targeting just cinemas?
So no, this one movie that we made, we've already sold it to Geo Cinemas.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's already with them.
Okay.
But Hungry Wolves Entertainment is a company that I formed to make everything content driven, with whether it's music videos, whether it's movies, whether it's OTT series, and see, Vicky, I mean, my analogy of what is happening when I see all the movies, and there's some amazing movies out there, some amazing stuff out there. Like, I mean, one of my favorite movies of late I've seen was Lapata Ladies. I thought it was just
very cute, very sweet.
brilliant, like brilliant in all departments.
Yeah.
In its approach, in its canvas, how it navigated the content through the canvas, and how little things became big things. And it was such a Bible to understand exactly what kind of content one should make, and nobody should have a problem buying. You see, what's happened is that I've just seen that most of the big films, no matter how cool they are, they're lacking that Salim Javed storyline that used to be there. I don't know. It was, it's that feeling, that heart, that connection, the way you used to empathize with characters, and when climax where they say Jai Hind and you were like off with them. I'm feeling that bit is missing, but like everything else is there. Like the action is better, the dialogues are cooler, the look is amazing, the shots are amazing, but the heart is somehow, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it in the movies I've seen off late, especially the big budget films. And I think while everybody is saying, don't make anything right now because everything is saturated and all of that, I feel that, see, if you get into that mindset and trap of fear and all of that, okay, I can't put too much money, I think one should realize one thing. What is the need of the hour is making good content in an affordable budget and making sure that whoever you're selling it to is getting a good deal. What are you achieving? You're achieving credibility along the way. Credibility will translate into trust. Trust will translate into a lot more people coming and working with you.
Yeah.
That will translate into, hopefully, better profits. But you're not looking at it from the other way. You're looking at it from the way it should be looked at. So Hungry Wolves' basic agenda is to make content-driven films that give you a real ride. When you see it and you have fun. There's entertainment factor. There's storyline. It's touching. It's got characters that you can relate to. And when you are selling it forward or whatever it is you're doing with it, you're giving a good deal to the person. Because everybody is getting a little tired of, I have so many people, this is what I deserve, but I can't show you a single frame of my film. You either buy it now or, suffer. So I think that attitude is definitely coming in, and one should be very thinkable. And beyond that, I mean, just see the number of verticals that you can make content for, whether it's Instagram, whether it's social media, whether it's music videos or whatever it is. So we've produced a music video also. I'll show that to you recently. And so the idea is that I work with different teams.
Okay.
And I set them off on their job, and I'll meet them every 3 days. And I'm just like
the new boss in town is Zayed Khan.
I think the term boss distances yourself from the people you want to work with. I rather look at it as somebody who is, the showrunner or the elder brother who is just being a good sounding board to you. And, I want to make stuff that, make people happy or sad or whatever it is, but is content driven, is got it all, it's packed with everything that you really want out of a film. Do I know what all these answers are? No, I don't. But I definitely know what the math is for that, and I'm going to work it out within the math whether it hits home or not. Everybody will be happy. And I think to earn the trust of the people that you're selling your products to is my ultimate goal. There should be a point in time where everybody says, go to Zayed, he'll sort it out. And go to Hungry Wolves, and you're saying you'll do it like this, they will make sure you do it in this, and they'll give me a good product. That's the ultimate.
The fulcrum who's a friend and a guide, you're saying.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And I treat all my people as such. I dine with them, I eat with them, and we have sometimes writing rooms that will go on till 4 in the morning. And it's just amazing to be amongst the youngsters because they have crazy ideas, but they don't have therav, and you've got to give them
That's what's missing in today's films.
That's what's missing in today's films. So I say, remember, the transitioning between anything, one plot point to the other, has to be so seamless that you don't sense the transition. Then everybody is invested in the scene and everything. But I think everybody is in a rush to get somewhere, because I think the kids today are so used to instantaneous gratification. Ye Paytm karo, card swipe karo, 15 minute ka, 15 second ka, ye reels dekho. So that attention span has become little, and you're now fighting that as well. So you have to come up with the goods.
Are you happy with today's music? You're not happy with dialogues, but happy with music?
I think the music industry has grown in such a big aspect. I think first it used to ride off Bollywood. Now it really doesn't need Bollywood. Indian music industry is shining, I think. Are there qualitative songs like they used to be back then? I don't know. I don't think so. I think making a song back then was hard because it wasn't as easy with all the tools that one person has on their phone and who can make 17 tracks a day. The sheer indiscipline towards making music so cheaply and so fast that anybody can be the music director, the singer, the arranger, everything. So that thing has sort of exploded in such a way that all of a sudden the value of music has become less. The value of a good song, I see them very far and few between nowadays. Not back in the day, and in our time, I think there was...
Interesting to know, what does Dad say about today's films? Does he see films today? Does he comment on the acting, the actors, the dialogues, the music?
Yeah, he sees not all films, that's for sure. But definitely the ones he feels is worth his while. I think at a man who's his age, time is of most importance and how I spend it. So yeah, there are a couple of films that he's seen, and in fact my father has written a brilliant script, honestly, a very, very amazing script called on Brigadier Osman. He's writing it for the last 4 years, so he's been very involved in that. Him and Javed Siddiqui Saab has written the dialogues, and that's another film that I have to essay. It's a very difficult role to do. It's not easy.
And you're putting it together?
It's all, yeah. It's everything is already together now. It's just phase 1 of pre-prod. So he is very eager to make that film.
So he likes today's films, or does he have his share of complaints?
I don't think he sees all films. I very rarely, unless it's like a real big canvas.
So
film.
how does he decide? Has the interest waned, or
so like for instance,
for a reason?
For instance, say if some of us from the office, we go watch a film and we come back and we say, Pops, this is a film that you have to watch.
अच्छा तो ही देखेंगे.
तो ही देखेंगे और फिर भी शायद, he just, unless like that canvas is not there, like he also sees film like it has to be big.
Does he see the old films?
Yeah, he sees the old films, but now he sees it at his house, you know.
क्या देखते हैं?
He loves watching a lot of Ridley Scott movies. He's a, you know, he loved the recent Napoleon that was made. He likes the movie 1917. He really liked that film. Recently, I think he watched Animal, and he was all praise for Ranbir and Bobby, which even I thought was a you know, at the risk of not trying to be woke in any way, I really liked the film. I thought it was a banger of a film. It was the last film that really excited me to go and watch a film in the theatre. I'll be honest. So I don't know about all the politically correct things. I don't go. In fact, I feel that if cinema is able to get a reaction from you that way, it has really done its job.
Yeah, it generates a discussion, you mean?
Evokes those kind of feelings in you and generates a discussion. It is definitely something that has hit home in some sort of way. You know, if you're trying, like a lot of people are trying to make very rudderless kind of cinema, that they shouldn't hurt anybody's feelings, or it should not hurt this thing. No, in fact, when you write things, initially it does hurt a lot of people, but how you end it, how you tell your story to make all the ends meet and to say why it happened that way, or you know, there was a reason for this, and you know, then there's actually something to look forward to.
In touch with Fardeen and Hrithik both? Regularly, frequently?
Man, I think between our families, we have so many occasions, between birthdays and anniversaries and so many things. So, yeah, we meet quite often.
But otherwise, you'll pick up the phone and talk to each other
Yes.
off and on.
Yes. I mean, anytime I'm in doubt of, say, something I've, you know, shot and I've not liked, you know, I'll pick up the call with Dogu and I'll say, Dogu, I want you to see this and give me a little opinion, you know. And he's very good. He's got a, you know, and also what happens is when somebody who doesn't need to like be nice to you for any reason can really have a good objective point.
He's one such person who will tell you.
Yeah, I really,
as it is.
Yeah, I really love him. He's always, sometimes you agree with it, sometimes you don't. But the very fact that,
obviously, I mean,
you know, he's able to do that, and he's, you know, always, whenever I've had like even sometimes while I was making this film, I used to come into like a little corner. I would say, yeah, if I had to take it this way, what would it be if I had to take it this way? And then he would come up with some amazing suggestions, that some of them which I put.
Yeah, he's a brilliant actor. I've always felt the more complex the role gets, the better he gets. In fact, give him the boy next door or very plain Jane kind of a, like you have been using this sentence, let truth be told.
Yeah.
That's your favorite line, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
So, if truth be told, in Main Prem Ki Diwani, I thought it was not Hrithik.
Yeah.
But when you see Guzarish, when you see Koi Mil Gaya,
Correct.
when you see things like these,
Yeah.
oh my God.
No, there's no doubt, he's a very, he works extremely hard, even Super 30.
Super 30, I was just about to say that.
I was
It was fabulous.
completely blown away, man.
Fabulous.
I mean, according to me, even Vikram Veda, I was blown away.
Yeah.
You know, but the thing is, Hrithik is, he's a sucker for details, you know, and he basically like hones in on the details so much, it's incredible. I find it incredible.
He works very hard.
Yeah.
I have seen him literally, I used to stay just opposite him, prancing the floor of the balcony
Yeah.
and reciting Guzarish dialogues, the climax scene
Yeah.
at the top floor of the 10th floor building.
Yeah.
And the voice was coming down. The dialogues were being heard.
Really, huh? Wow. Yes. That is.
It's that kind of effort, it's that kind of diligence that the man puts in.
He's no doubt, and it works for him.
Yes, it does.
You know, for a lot of people, that does not work.
Yes.
I've noticed also, like, I've noticed that another person who also taught me a lot while working with him was Anil Kapoor. When he gets into character, baap re baap, he just goes into it again and again and again and again. Because for me, I come into it very naturally. Like if I don't, even if I have to play something, this, that, I'll, of course, lines is one thing, but I don't want to share what I'm learning with, like say somebody says, let's do a reading. I'll be at like 5% when I'm doing the reading.
Did you have a phase with Hrithik where you were talking less, maybe, when Sussanne and Hrithik drifted apart?
No, never. In fact, we did everything that a brother-in-law should at that time, and never, while it wasn't, nothing like that. It was never, ever. We were always the same, because at the end of the day, his children are my children, dude. You know, they've grown up in my hands. So that never. We were. I'll put this aside in 1 second. We are too. We're too mature for all of this.
But it happened 10 years ago. I mean, you were 10 years younger then.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The question is, there are more important things, and that was their choice, and what had to happen happened.
And how do you feel now? He's also found love, and your sister Sussanne has also found love.
We are like the new modern family, dude. I'm telling you, it's like, it's crazy. There's extreme acceptance from everybody's end. It's taken a while for it to get there, but now that it's together, it's beautiful. It's like, you know, I mean, at the end of the day.
So you'll party with
of course.
Sussanne, you'll party with alongside.
Yes.
Hrithik brings in
his
girlfriend.
With the children, with everybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
All get together under one roof.
We get together in one roof and we have a ball. All no gile shikwe, no thing, no nothing, just.
तुमने ऐसे बोला था, तुमने ऐसे बोला था. You know how it is.
Nothing. I think we all have too much going on in our lives for it to sort of be an issue at all. And you know, we are just a family that understands life in its rawness. Yeah, you know, you can be the kind of person who can be that nagging person about thoughts and all of that, and you know, the bitterness corrodes the vessel in which you carry it. Yeah. So if you are constantly going to fill yourself up with all of these thoughts, then you're not able to do other things. Yeah. You know, and strangely, when you don't give it that any wind, a lot of things naturally come together. You know, there's acceptance, because at the end of the day, a man doesn't fight for money, fame, greed. He doesn't. At the end of the day, what a man fights for is acceptance. That's the truth of it. How does everybody perceive me amongst them, and how I perceive everybody amongst.
Well said.
You know,
and primarily within the family.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. You know, that's what we are fighting for, primarily within the family and in life generally.
Yeah, as well.
You know, it's what.
So are you going to see 4 actors emerging from this Khandan now?
Yeah, I think so.
If we talk about Hrithik and your children.
I think so. I think the acting bug.
Fardeen's kids also.
Fardeen's kids are very young right now, but I definitely feel there's a lot of interest in acting between the children. Even though they all are excellent musicians and all of that, I feel there is an acting bug. We'll see when we cross that bridge what happens. You know.
What do you think of Fardeen's metamorphosis? I mean, he's returned, and he's returned in a debonair way. I mean, the way he's looking. I met him at Madhu Mantena's wedding, and I couldn't believe my eyes.
You know, Fardeen's journey has literally been a miracle. And it's like he's ice skated uphill. I don't know how, but I am so proud of him. I'm so proud of how he has, against all odds, whether it was the trolling, whether it's his personal life, whether, you know, I think he has become a brand new person.
Yeah.
He's an absolute brand new person with the best parts of Fardeen in him. You know, I think that takes a lot of character. Yeah.
His health as well, Zayed. He had put on so much of weight, and you know, once you, as an actor, are seen in the public domain like that, then that image stays with the public, and then it changes so drastically. Doesn't happen.
Well, man, it's life, you know. Unfortunately, today's time and age, like, there's so much of media, there's so many thousands of ways of, you know, people capturing a person, that it becomes all the more painful when you are not in a great space.
But it's terrible.
Yeah, it is, man. I mean, there's no doubt. Like I said to you, I mean, you know, sometimes when you have a private party or a dinner, you know, I've always extended this courtesy to my guests of never trying to, you know, tell my PR I'm having a party or get paps outside to capture because I feel that
and this is coming from a party animal, if I can call that.
Yeah, but that's
I'm going back to the Fight Club
days.
The
reason why people used to enjoy partying with me because I used to keep their anonymity, and I used to keep their privacy intact. If you are coming to my house, you're coming to spend time with me, and you're coming to spend time to have a good laugh, to shed some weight off your shoulders, not to all of a sudden be the image again, or, you know, oh, let me take an Instagram picture and post it. I often do have issues with people who do that. But of course, like at some point in time, you can't completely deny it. But I definitely tell everybody, I said, after a certain time, this has to stop. So before the time, please take as many pictures. But after a certain time.
So has it happened with you that you were going somewhere at the airport and suddenly somebody comes and puts his phone in front of you and you have pushed him away?
I mean,
we've seen some recent cases with actors, you know, losing their cool.
I see. The question is, you're caught off guard, right? Now think about it this way, Vicky. Today, God forbid, if that wasn't a phone, somebody is trying to throw something on your face, you know, God forbid. It's detrimental, right? It's like life-changing. How do you know what it is? Your first reaction is to, hey, क्या कर रहा है भाई? पूछ के तो कर. ना कौन बोल रहा है? Correct, but the question is, let's face it, like, you are a tender hooks, man. Everywhere you go, if somebody just comes from behind and does this, it could be just about anything. You know, it doesn't have to be, what do you call, it doesn't have to be a phone. But yeah, I mean, you know, when
and they do it not just with guys, they do it with girls also. See that? I mean, it's really scary at times.
It is scary, and at the same time, I do feel that in a lot of places, you know, people have sensed a proper decorum to approach a person that they have been an admirer of or a fan of. I feel there's definitely a better culture that, like, there are times when you go into restaurants and, you know, initially nobody will come, and then after they know that you're about to leave, all of a sudden 5, 10, 15 people will start, can I have a picture, can I have a picture? You know, but that's your blessings, number one. Number two, as far as safety is concerned, if you go out of airports and all, you do feel a little exposed. You know.
Do you sit back and see your dad's films, your uncle's films, Feroz Khan?
I love my dad and my uncle's films. I'll tell you, the films that I love about my dad, I used to love Abdullah. It was a great film. It was a beautifully made film.
Lovely songs as well.
Lovely songs. I loved Kurbani. I loved Aparad.
I have no words for that movie.
Aparad. You know, what emotion again. You see, like, it was like such a plain Jane, like, kind of, you know, action film, but like...
I think Aparad till date is the most stylish movie ever made.
Dharmatma. I mean, what movies those were, yeah? And, you know, sometimes I watch old films just to see the panache with which these guys used to say dialogues, yeah. There was such a lahaja in which they said, which they used to, like, have dialogues with each other. There was a flair. It wasn't like, chichorapan all the time. There was a certain panache with which they said it.
So which is the best, if I ask you to name one of your dad, which is the best?
I liked Mela of my father's.
Okay.
That was a very good film. I liked Ek Phool Do Mali. Then I liked Dhun, which was a really good film also.
Outstanding.
And Abdullah. Of course, I thought Tipu Sultan was author-backed. I felt Tipu Sultan looked like him only, like in the sense that the way he used to come on set and that whole aura he used to bring with him and the way he used to say those 4-page dialogues,
So which one are you taking of all these? One.
Which one am I taking?
You went on stretching the list.
Why like
Justifiably so, but...
Why like that? See, I relate with him more when it was Tipu Sultan, because like I was also like about 7-8 years old, so I used to be on the sets and I used to try and be a gaffer and whatever it is, the odd jobs of the set I used to get to do, and it was great fun. And I really, I would think that I think by far, if there was any role that my father has nailed, it's Tipu Sultan.
Okay. And Mr. Feroz Khan?
My favorite film of all time is Qurbani. I think Feroz Chacha and Qurbani, Feroz Chacha and Aparadh. But Qurbani is one of my
Have you seen Safar? He had this style of वो चाबियों को घुमाना.
Correct.
Oh my God, I can't forget that. He used to walk.
It's typical.
Yeah.
His style. Yeah, even this other one, no? Khote Sikhe. Even that one, he was a good film. Feroz Chacha, man, he was the...
Zayed, how were the times earlier? I mean, whether it was your dad or whether it was Mr. Feroz Khan, they had their relationships in the industry. They were turmoil. Was there turmoil at home?
No, Vicky. I mean, turmoil at home means what? Yeah, I don't think there was...
There was a lot written about your dad and Zeenat.
Let me tell you, at that time, the whole industry was the wild, wild west. It wasn't just happening in my dad's house, it was happening in every actor's house. Every person was highly eccentric. All of them, besides one or two oddballs who were really sincere, or sincere in the sense, who were really sort of, grounded or whatever. The rest of them, they all... I mean, when I was a youngster, I used to see these guys, party, and they used to have their jazzy Versace shirts and their thing, and it was like a whole different era, man.
It was all more of style and...
Yeah, it was all...
Not, of course, there was substance as well.
Yeah.
The interesting part is, there was substance in the content they delivered.
Yeah.
There was substance in the content they spoke.
No, they were real personalities, I'll be honest with you.
They spoke their mind.
Their personalities were there. Now, I don't
The
see
interviews
that,
were not rehearsed.
Yeah, absolutely.
The interviews were not scripted.
No.
There were no PR standing and telling them that you have to say like this and you don't have to say like this.
Yeah. They would find it highly offensive if a PR had to tell them that.
Did it happen?
No, I mean, I'll tell you, if...
With your dad or...
See, my dad or any one of his contemporaries at the time, one thing is for sure, they would never allow anybody to tell them what to say. They will say, what is the subject matter? Where am I? Give me a brief history of what these people are. Now, if you come and tell me, they'll fire the people. It was below them for third party to come and give you the words to say. It was an insult. They would not take that.
Yeah.
Even today, it's so strange. You have something called an intimacy coach.
Yeah.
Which is kind of really funny to me.
Yeah.
But there are people who need it apparently, and I scratch my head and I say, God damn me, if I need an intimacy coach, I should stop acting. you know. I mean, why would I, why would I need one? It's like you're taking away half my
When I
machismo.
think about your uncle Feroz Khan,
Yeah.
you know, lying beside the pool, a bikini-clad girl beside him,
Yeah.
that kind of life they led.
Yeah.
It was
But I think that kind of life existed because there was a lot of.
I wonder what he would have said to intimacy
but
coach.
There was I think they would have been knocked off or something. I'm kidding. But you see, even there was a decorum with which everything happened.
Yeah.
There was a lot of respect for the artists and how an artist had to be treated and how the set had to behave. There was not like, chapri kind of attitude. I'm sorry to say that, but no, everybody was given their dignity.
You said it was Wild Wild West that time.
Yeah.
How is it now?
Now, I think now it's like an industry filled with suits and less creative people, according to me. I feel there are too many people chomping numbers and very few people who are actual hipsters. And that's, I don't know, I think. So,
Are there no relationships happening now?
I'll give you an
On the sly?
how am I supposed to know that? If it is happening.
No, I mean to say, you saying that that time it was Wild Wild West. So,
No, I mean,
has it mellowed down on that front?
see, I would presume it has mellowed down for one reason and one reason only. This is a very deadly weapon. And it's used for 110,000 things. I don't think anybody wants to spoil their reputation over being Wild Wild West or whatever it is. Building a reputation and building a credibility in the performing arts is very hard.
Yeah.
So and see, I'm nobody to judge.
Everything gets captured, you mean?
Whoever
Today.
wants,
Yeah.
everything gets captured.
Yeah.
Everybody, everything is just dangerous to take that. My advice to the youngsters out there: focus on your work, become big, be happy, be a nomad if you have to. You don't have to explain to anybody why you are like that or why you're not like that. But when you do it, own it. Own the attitude, own the space, own the responsibility. Don't say, नहीं, I wanted to do it and नहीं, फिर वो गलती से हो गया. छः, ऐसे मत बोलो. I feel everybody is entitled to do what they want. I don't care what anybody wants to do. They can, have the best time of their lives. This, that. They are answerable to themselves. They are answerable to themselves at the end of the day. But for me, it's like I feel, I feel really bad for them. Yeah? I mean, look at the world they're living in. They're living in the age of like Tinder, this, that, X, Y, Z. I mean, the multiple options, multiple things. It's like, I feel bad for their entire psychology. It could definitely take a toll on people. Yeah.
It is taking. It is taking.
Yeah.
You talk to anybody, he says, I have mental health issues, actors coming out in the open, even the common man coming out in the open.
Yeah.
I don't think it's only to do with awareness, but it's also that it is actually affecting them. And to that point where they are driven to, take remedial measures.
I mean, I completely agree with that.
And good they are taking remedial measures, but why do they reach that point? I mean, there are many reasons for that.
I am certain they already know those reasons. And my only one thing to, I think, people who are youngster acting, coming up in the chain of things, I think one thing they must understand is, if you project a lifestyle that you don't actually have. And you are doing that to have more followers and whatever it is. I think that can really be a detrimental thing to your mental health, because you can go broke doing that.
Yes.
Because success is not always going to be with you. And the more you supply, the less interesting you become. So I would urge them to understand that, because whatever you should organically grow, I think people will like that more.
I hope they are hearing you, because you know of many actors and you know of many actors from all the spheres. I mean, whether it's OTT, films or TV, calling up paparazzi and saying that, they are coming here, you need to be here, you need to photograph me from this side, that side, I'll turn this side, I'll turn that side. Come on, it's so evident.
It is evident.
It's so evident. Nobody is caught off guard.
More than evident, I think it's
Mostly.
It's very cringe. It's a very cringy thing to do, it's like it doesn't show good of you. It shows bad character, and it shows that you are living in the false fallacy that people think this is real. 5 years ago, I could understand, where you were trying to do it very smoothly, but now it's become so blasé that everybody knows it's happening. It's like the BTS. People are more interested in the BTS than the actual footage sometimes. Yeah, man. I mean, Baki sab, who knows? I think there are so many things that they know more than what I could know of, but there's a difference between knowledge and wisdom. And this is a line I've taken from Jack Ma, where he says, knowledge is knowing what you want. Wisdom is knowing what you don't want. So that will only come with experience and making mistakes and that you don't keep making again.
So Zayed, in touch with your ex-colleagues, the ones you worked with?
All. I'm in touch with all of them, whether it's Ritesh, whether it's Aisha, Dia, everybody. We often get together. Selena, I've not bumped into her in a long time, actually.
She's abroad.
Yeah, she's abroad.
Yeah.
She has lovely 2 twins.
Yeah.
She's very happy, from what I gather.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a nice person. Very, very fun person to be with.
तो एक दूसरे के घर में आना जाना होता है मतलब?
हाँ, बेशक. हाँ. And that too sometimes without invitation. मैं भी shooting कर रहा हूँ बैंड्रा में, क्या कर रहे हैं, मुझे खाना खाना है, मैं आ रहा हूँ. Literally like that. Sometimes people are here, they say, क्या कर रहा है? I said, मैं office में हूँ. Said, मेरी shooting है यहाँ पे, can I have lunch with you? I said, come. So it's with us,
No formalities.
There's a certain bond, Vicky, that we have maintained. It's a bond that can't be bought. It's filled with love, with trust. These are 2 very important words that you realize the gravity of when you grow older. So yeah, we are very present in each other's lives, whether it's our family, whether it's birthdays of the children, and all of that.
Let's conclude with your love story with your wife. You all started dating in high school. And how did this blossom and how has it stayed strong, touch wood? How has it stayed strong? I mean, in industry or in today's life, when the institution of marriage is crumbling, and also in the industry, temptations are galore. How have you two managed?
I don't know about everybody else. I truly am a person who can't live without my wife. Probably a odd case, I guess. We are very, very close in spiritually. We are very close soulfully. We are we share each other's grievances and everything. So, and without many filters, which makes it very important. So, but I have to say, touch wood, my wife is a wonderful lady. She is a very hard worker, great homemaker, and we still have a lot of fights, which we love. I think in a week we have to fight at least twice. But that's just because, when you know somebody, like I've been dating Mali for 10 years, we are married for 19.
3 decades.
It's not an easy number to achieve. So very recently, we were at some forum and somebody told us, how long have you guys known each other? So Mali says 30 years. So they were very confused. They said, when did you all get together? When you were 5? I said, oh, we're not that young also. So, yeah, no, we've kept it very simple, Vicky. We like go to play, like for instance, in a month sometimes there are 20 invites. Come here, come there, go here, destination wedding, this and that. We are not all about that. Even though we love all our friends, we will choose 3 or maximum 2 in a month that we will do all of this with.
Don't see you often.
And the rest is, I enjoy spending time with my son, and I'm coaching his basketball team, so like I enjoy doing that with him. And we enjoy going out on dinners, we enjoy having little get-togethers, we enjoy traveling, wherever we go. And it's like I said, life is bountiful beyond the bubble in which we live, and it's just that everybody starts to make it so much about Friday ko kya ho raha hai, usko pata hai kya hua, uske saath kya hua, are ye log, they are not there together anymore. Like, okay. Or what do I have to say to that? Fine, theek hai. Life goes on. Tomorrow when you wake up in the morning, you'll realize one thing: the world is still moving around, whether it was with you, without you, or with all this paraphernalias. Doesn't matter. Question is, Mali and me, we kept things very simple. We've not been too extravagant with anything. We've always enjoyed the best of the best, but we are very careful of a lot of things about, like I tell Mali, I said, we live in a country where, being too ostentatious, showing off is not a good thing. So when we are at certain places and, holidays, I tell her, I said, we're not posting where we are or what we are doing. These are not good things to do. Nazar lagti hai. You by all means create a WhatsApp group with your friends, your family, share all the pictures.
Yeah.
And
those limited people.
Those limited people get, enjoy, harping about where you are. But these are certain things that we have rules as a family, especially me. My sisters have different rules, but I don't subscribe to this. And I feel when you don't, you live a much happier life.
The result of this marriage is the trigger which brought me here. That is your son. When I saw him wearing the Main Hoon Na.
Whoa! Yes.
Of course, we see your films on television and various platforms, the ones which you've done earlier. But the trigger, okay, now I want to call up Zayed and let's sit down with him for a long interview, was when I saw your son wearing that, famous attire.
Yeah, it was such an emotional moment because I'm a bit of a Parsi, so I hoard a lot of things from my movies. I have lots of memorable things.
Your
like
mom is a Parsi. Yeah?
Yes, so I affectionately tell everybody I'm a Marsi, half Muslim, half Parsi. So I like hoarding a lot of things from my films, whether it's jackets or like certain glasses, and of course taking the permission from the production, or I buy it off them straight away. And this was like a jacket that was lying in my cupboard, and I keep it very pristine. It's packed in a, you know, full on, it's like a suit, kind of a leather suit kind of a thing. And I took it out because I was supposed to do an ad recently for a brand, and they wanted some Mehuna hangover stuff. So I took it out, and my son was on vacation, and I said, Zidan, just come here 1 second. And I just did a little fitting from outside. I said, Zidan, you know what jacket this is? He's like, no. I was like, this is my Mehuna jacket. This is the jacket I wore in my first debut song in the film. And I said, wear it, and he wore it. And it fit him like, I could literally see my body fit into that, the way his body fit into it. And man, I was so deeply touched, because when he took it, he was feeling it, and then he couldn't understand that he is wearing the jacket, you know. And he said, Papa, it's so well maintained, like, you know. And I said, it's yours.
It's a very emotional moment.
You know, and then of course, you know, a lot of people called me up and said, Arey, you should have at least made a nice jazzy reel between you zipping up and him zipping up. And I said, dude, please stop giving me cringe suggestions. Okay, I don't want to do that. ये मेरा बेटा है यार, इसको अभी, you know, I was telling him what an heirloom means.
It's just, I don't know whether people will like it or not. It's just like, look at us.
Yeah.
Please look at us.
Yeah, it's, you know, I don't know. But I definitely thought, like, so for instance, you were talking about Instagram. Like, I've been on Instagram, I think 10 years. I must have posted 280 pictures in 10 years or something like that. And that's how I treat my Instagram. And I like to share milestone moments with my fans or whatever it is. I don't really delve into how everything is happening, how I'm tying my lace, or today I'm brushing my hair wrong, or my makeup went off, and you know, all this tam jam, I don't. But that was a milestone moment for me. And the funniest is, after that I got so many random like numbers on my phone call coming, sending me messages. Sir, आपको पता है आपका जैकेट 1.25 करोड़ में बिकेगा, आप बेचते क्यों नहीं? अरे यार ये देखो, हाँ, कहीं लोगों को समझ में आता है, कहीं लोगों को समझ में नहीं आता है. Now you can't explain to the world everything.
नहीं समझ आ रहा है ना, बस
नहीं समझ आ रहा है, बस क्या करें?
Everything has an Insta reel, everything has a price, everything has a paparazzi at your speed dial.
Yeah, you know, it comes to my thought of the MasterCard ads that used to happen, where they say there's a price for everything, and then some things are just priceless, like certain moments like that.
Yeah.
You know, so those are just priceless moments.
वो बैंडाना पहना है कि नहीं बेटे को?
बैंडाना तो वो खुद पहनता है, तो वो
because that unforgettable bandana which you wore.
तो उसका स्पोर्ट्स डे हो रहा था कोडी में, तो उसने कहा, पापा, can you get me one of your bandanas?
In Mehuna. I
said, why? He said, no, I just want to wear it. I want to feel like you when I do the high jump. So he was doing high jumps. He broke the high jump record in school. And people were like, what the hell? It was a complete moment. I never knew. My son, of course, I know that he's a parkour expert. He's like level 5, level 6. He's like a ninja. He can jump like buildings and walls and do somersaults and all of that. And so he tried out for the high jump, and he last minute 170 was the height, 170 centimeters, which is almost 5'8", 5'9", and that's his height. And the last time that record was broken was in 2003. So he broke the record 20 years later. And I said, Zidan, I didn't even realize that you had this talent, bro. But like, I was an athlete in school, so I was like, you know, I'm so happy that you've become like this, you know, athlete. And then he says, Papa, you know, when I hear your voice now, it gives me josh. Because I was like on the field out there, मैं sports day के लिए गया था वहाँ पे. I was like, Zizu, you know, like a total enthu father on the sidelines. Uh, it was amazing. Yeah, I touch wood. I'm blessed with good kids, good attitude, good manners.
Thank you, Zayed. Thank you so much for this lovely conversation. It was absolutely fantastic talking to you.
Thank you, Vicky. Thank you for coming here. It was a pleasure talking to you, and we'll do many more like these.